today. It is Memorial Day weekend and we are cooking up ribs. I'm going to show you an easy way to make them. Now, I tenderize mine in my crock pot, let them cook slowly with some nice seasonings and flavorings, and then we finish them up on the grill with the grill them for just 5 or 10 minutes, and then put your barbecue sauce on them and let the barbecue sauce caramelize. So we're going to start by putting our ribs in the crock pot. I have one rack of baby back ribs here. Now we like our ribs to have the barbecue sauce coated on all sides, and we like them nice and crispy. So we cut them in individual ribs. So they not only cook a little faster, but like I said, you get barbecue sauce all over them, and they get that nice, really crispy texture all the way around that we really enjoy. So put those in your crock pot, and like I said, I'm doing 1 rack of baby back ribs. For most slow cookers or crock pots, you can do 2. And also you can do this cooking part a day ahead if you want, or earlier in the day, and then just put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to do the finishing part, which is on the grill. So put in all of your ribs. And then on top of your ribs, you're going to add sliced onion. Now I have 2 medium onions here, but you could use just 1 large one. Vidalia works really well here. A nice sweet onion is really nice. I'm just using what I had on hand, and I'm using a white and a yellow. Get a little more complex onion flavor by using both, but Vidalia is particularly yummy. And then the next thing is I've got 4 cloves of garlic that I've coarsely chopped. Just going to infuse some nice flavor there. And then the next thing that I do is I take brown sugar, and it doesn't matter if it's white or dark. A couple of tablespoons of brown sugar. And to that, I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of grill seasoning. Now, grill seasoning has all sorts of yummy flavors in there, and I use grill seasoning in anything that I grill. So it's very versatile for anything you put on the grill, whether it's meats or vegetables. So it works really well here. And then to that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of liquid smoke. I don't really precisely measure any of this. I'm just not a cook that does a lot of measuring, except when I bake. Now baking is different than cooking. Baking is a science, and you definitely have to measure, but cooking is all to taste and what you like. Cooking is really just about a method, not necessarily about precise measurements. So you're going to make like this little syrupy mixture here with the brown sugar, liquid smoke, and your grill seasoning, and then you just want to drizzle that all over the top of your ribs. It smells so good. And then for the final touch, and you have a few options here, I'm going to be using a bottle of root beer. Now you can use Coca-Cola, you can use beer. Apple ale works wonderfully with pork ribs, but today I'm just going to use what I have on hand, which is root beer. So I'm going to take a bottle of root beer and pour that down all over the top. And that's going to help tenderize your ribs plus infuse flavor. And then just put the lid on your crock pot. And I'm going to cook mine on medium for about 4.5 hours. I'm starting a little late in the day, so I'm going to cook mine for about 4 hours on medium and check them, and if they're not getting done closer to the time that we're going to put them on the grill, then I'll crank up my crock pot, but I think medium should be fairly good here. And if Now the one thing I do want to say about using your slow cooker is when you're doing your ribs, you only want to cook them till they're tender. So you have to kind of keep an eye on them when you're getting towards the end of your cooking time, because you want them to be tender, but you don't want them falling off the bone or you won't be able to grill them. So like I said, I'm starting on medium for 4 hours. I'll monitor them later in the cooking time and see where they are, and as soon as they're fork tender, I'm going to turn them off and take them out of the crock pot. So I'll bring you back partway through the cooking process and show you what's going on. We're 2 hours into our cooking time for our ribs, so I'm going to turn them. So you want to get the ones on the bottom on top. Stir things around so things cook evenly. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you could smell this. And I'm just going to test them to see if they're getting tender yet. Give them a nice poke with a fork. And they are starting to tenderize, but we have a ways to go. So that's what you want to do, is just at this point you want to keep checking them to check on the tenderness of them, and keep turning them every half hour or so to check them, and bring you back when we get a little farther along. Hi guys, welcome back. Our ribs have been in the slow cooker for a little more than 4 hours. They weren't quite tender enough for me, so I let them go an extra half hour, and they've been sitting in my slow cooker on warm. Now, like I said, there's a really fine line between super tender and falling off the bone. We want super tender, not falling off the bone, or you won't be able to grill them. So we're gonna take them out of the crock pot, and we like the onions. Remember the onions we sliced up and put in here for flavor? I like doing those on the grill. They get crispy and yummy, so I also take those out and we let those sit on the grill too and crisp up and get all yummy. So I take all that out. Beautiful onions. And
you know what? The last week we went someplace very exciting. The Living Fair down in Somerset, Kentucky.
there you go. Look how beautiful those are. Now for the fun part, the grill. Let's go. Okay guys, here we go. We're grilling up the ribs that we slow cooked in our crock pot. And there are those delicious onions I was telling you about, how we do those on the grill.
But you don't eat them, they're just for making the grill smoky.
I eat them because I like them. Don't listen to him. Anyway.
They're going to be burned.
I like them that way. Anyway, there's corn also that we're doing on the grill, and we have a child that does not like ribs, so she's getting grilled barbecued chicken. So there are the ribs. After you cook them in the crock pot till really super tender, but not falling off the bone, put them on the grill and cook them for 15 to 30 minutes. Usually between 15 and 20 is good. And then we're going to add the barbecue sauce. And homemade is best. You should give it a try if you've never tried homemade barbecue sauce. It's delicious. Look at that beautiful pile of goodness. And we let the barbecue sauce get nice and caramelized and crispy, a little bit crispy on all the edges. And we're almost there. And there's our beautiful grilled corn, nice and golden, and working on the chicken as well. Okay, here we are in the final stages of grilling things up. We've added the barbecue sauce to both sides, and now he's just putting it over the really hot coals to get that nice caramelized ooey goodness. And it gets a little crispy around the edges. See how beautiful? Tons of delicious, smoky, sweet flavor. Love it.
And it doesn't really burn the barbecue sauce.
No, it just gets nice and caramelized.
It's caramelized.
And there you go, my friends. That is delicious barbecue heavenly goodness on a plate. There's our deliciously grilled corn and our barbecue chicken and homemade barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. Time to eat. Yum. Okay guys, that's it for barbecue ribs. Slow cooked and tenderized in the crock pot and finished on the grill. And just know that homemade barbecue sauce does make all the difference. If you've never tried it, give it a try. You don't have to do the big batch I did in home can, and if you choose to not home can, that's fine. Make a small batch and just make what you will use up in a month. It'll stay good in the refrigerator for a month, but give it a try. I encourage you to do that. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today for today's recipe. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. We'll have some more delicious recipes and more fun things coming up for you. And I appreciate you spending part of your day with me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.